NTA International News.
Vice President Oshibajo urges youths to participate actively in governance. United States, United Kingdom and France applaud Nigeria's anti-insurgency campaign. Enrollees of National Health Insurance Scheme advocate its removal from TSA to enhance service delivery. Hello there, so good to have you join us on NTA International News. I am Oku Ekpayong. We begin by telling you that President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed Nigeria's appreciation to the co-founder and chief executive officer of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, for sharing his wealth of knowledge with the nation's youths and inspiring a new generation of entrepreneurs. Receiving the internet entrepreneur at the presidential villa, the president described his visit to Nigeria as most timely when opportunities are being explored by government to spur national growth and development through entrepreneurship. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The chief executive officer and co-founder of Facebook, a social networking website, Mark Zuckerberg, is in Nigeria to promote the penetration of fast and cheap internet connectivity, express Wi-Fi, that will help the creation of online businesses for poverty reduction. President Muhammadu Buhari commended Mr. Zuckerberg for identifying with Nigeria as well as sharing his knowledge and wealth with the young entrepreneurs. The country, he said, has always been identified as one destined for greatness in view of the abundant, youthful, and productive population. This time, the president, however, said the nation is moving beyond the potentials to reality. President Muhammadu Buhari noted that the simplicity and magnanimity of the entrepreneur as one of the world's richest men had challenged the culture of lavish wealth display and impulsive spending peculiar to Nigerians. As he puts it, we are not used to seeing successful people sweating on the streets like you, but in air-conditioned places, you are well off and simple enough to always share. In his remarks, the co-founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, described as impressive the interest, energy, and entrepreneurial spirit displayed by young Nigerians in all the ICT camps he visited since arrival. In his words, I am highly impressed and simply blown away by the talent of the youth as well as the level of energy that I saw at the co-creation hub in Yaba, Lagos. Born in 1984, the world's youngest billionaire, Mark Zuckerberg, co-founded Facebook in 2004 that now has 1 billion monthly active users. Also at the presidential villa, President Muhammadu Buhari played host to the finalists of the Aso Villa Demo Day aimed at promoting entrepreneurship, innovation, and economic growth through new and emerging technology. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And the Buhari administration has welcomed on board some Nigerian youths whose technology, ideas, and innovations can be used as solutions in the Nigerian public and private sectors. The Vice President, Yemi Oshibajo, who stated this at the Aso Villa Demonstration Day, says government is willing to support youths whose idea is in pursuit of the federal government's focus on technology as a major driver of economic growth. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook founder, was also in attendance.
This country is going to be built and is going to be built on the energy, on the innovation, and on the creativity of the very young people who are here. A great future, and I certainly look forward to working with you as part of the government of Nigeria to ensure that all of our plans, all your talents and abilities are put to the best possible use, and will support you all the way.
Meanwhile, the social media has become one of the smartest modes of engagement, particularly among young Nigerians. It is continuing to gain grounds and subscription. In this report, Adebola Brixlin Sunday takes a look at the social media, its benefits, and how Nigeria can take advantage of the technology.
Social media can be regarded as computer-mediated tools that allow people and organizations to create, share, or exchange information like ideas, pictures, videos in virtual communities. Statistics from Ringia Digital Marketing show that over 70 million Nigerians currently use the internet, with 67% of that number being male users. and 45% students. This innovation has received fresh impetus with the visit of the co-founder of Facebook, who Nigerians contributed to making the 7th richest man in the world.
It doesn't have any mineral, it doesn't have any cocoa, it doesn't have anything. Just the power of the brain to create something.
However, there has been a growing body of criticism which alleges that the social media is invasive of privacy and suffers from the absence of professional supervision.
People post any kind of thing they want on social media, nothing happens. They can start to malign you, insult you, say whatever they want.
The Nigerian legislature had sought in the past to establish a supervisory regime, but popular resistance took the steam of that move. Like every innovation, the social media has both good and bad sides.
People were calling me, telling me that they are seeing different things I'm posting on my Facebook. So I went and checked the Facebook and I noticed that they were not what I was posting myself.
At least I've been able to meet people like online that ordinarily I may not meet them one-on-one.
With the current economic reality, can the social media aid economic diversification?
The government should key into encouraging more people to be developers of some of these applications. We have brilliant people in the country with ideas. You can develop your own social media even for people to use.
So what are we left with? Is the social media sustainable in its present state? That's a question for you and I to answer. Adebola, Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Many thanks, Adebola, for that story. Nigerians have been urged to work together to improve the feeding habit of the Nigerian child. The wife of the president, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, made the plea at the launch of the Cocktail of Get Involved initiative in Abuja. Mrs. Buhari said the magnitude of malnutrition among Nigerian children is a source of concern. She said government alone cannot curtail the level of malnutrition in the country.
As a mother, this is a moment of celebration, but a moment for reflection on the magnitude of the problem. Our actions and inactions towards addressing it over the years. It is important to note that experts on nutrition have articulated the current situation long time ago, the effect being made and the future direction. As you are all aware, the magnitude of this problem is one that cannot be solved by one stakeholder or Nigerian government alone, but it has to be a collective responsibility by all. This is the time for us to once again renew our intentions and commitments towards ending the problem of malnutrition facing our country today.
According to UNICEF, 2.5 million children are malnourished in the country, out of which 500,000 are likely to die this year if there is no intervention from public-spirited Nigerians. Get Involved is a component of the Future Assured Initiative, a pet project of the wife of the president, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, aimed at tackling issues of malnutrition among children in Nigeria. Meanwhile, experts in the health sector are calling for specific and targeted interventions aimed at ending malnutrition and reducing health inequalities in Nigeria. This was at a presentation tagged Malnutrition and Healthcare Delivery Affecting the Lives of Nigerian Children, organized by Save the Children in Abuja. Aisha Ubali has the details.
In Nigeria, research shows that malnutrition remains the underlying cause of morbidity and mortality of large proportion of children under age 5. With this, over 50% of children's death is in this bracket age, and in northern Nigeria, half of all children under 5 years are said to be suffering from acute malnutrition. At this press conference, members of Save the Children say, as part of efforts to tackle malnutrition, the organization is currently implementing what is called Working to Improve Nutrition in Northern Nigeria, a project funded by DFID in collaboration with partners, civil society and government of Nigeria. Building on the gains of the past, this group, Save the Children, is also launching a new 3 years global campaign tagged Every Last Child. The campaign's target is on addressing the challenges of poverty and discrimination that prevent children from accessing qualitative health care, as well as forging partnership to ensure every last child survives and is protected.
I tell you, as we work with government in these areas, we are helping to strengthen the health system.
The members say unless steps are taken to recognize that excluded children exist and provide them with the needed services, it will be impossible to ensure that all children thrive. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
Staying with health matters, enrollees of the National Health Insurance Scheme have stressed the need for its removal of the Treasury Single Account TSA for prompt service delivery. The advocacy was made at the National Health Insurance Scheme's management meeting in Kaduna, North Central Nigeria. The meeting agreed that enrollees should drive the program for efficiency. Chimdemandu Bisi reports.
The National Health Insurance Scheme began operations in 2005 with the aim of providing access to quality healthcare services for all Nigerians at affordable cost through prepayment systems. But 11 years down the line, the story is different.
That morning when I went there, around after 11, they told me that it's already late. They cannot attend to...
Not all drugs that are covered.
To address the anomaly and bearing in mind President Muhammadu Buhari's mandate to the Executive Secretary on making the scheme work for all Nigerians, a strong monitoring team will be formed to ensure health maintenance organizations and caregivers do their bit effectively.
I need to see in real time how much of enrollees' money goes to who, why, when, for what. I need to see money returned back by HMOs to the NHIS if they are not used.
The regulator, all they need to do is have their hammer ready, that anybody that is not following the rules will be fined, sanctioned, or get his certificate withdrawn.
What we need is to ensure that there's full implementation of the policies that are already on ground.
The National Health Insurance Scheme is also to develop an ICT platform where a comprehensive database of the enrollees will be accessible. Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
A look at security matters. Now, the US, UK and France military support control base to the multinational Joint Task Force, MNJTF, has commended the Nigerian army for its role in combating Boko Haram insurgents. This was at an interactive session with the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Burute, at the Center for Coalition and Liaison in N'Djamena, Chad. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has the details.
Records indicate that both the developed and developing nations have had cause to battle with terrorism. With the global dimension of the criminal act, the Center for Coalition and Liaison is a multinational military support base to the war against Boko Haram.
They've been providing us a very useful intelligence, and this is what we want them to continue. And as we move in towards the end of the counter-insurgency operation, we need more of this intelligence.
Discussions at the center featured on improved intelligence gathering and sharing and the need to sustain the current tempo in the quest to eradicate the remnants of Boko Haram from the identified spots.
Particularly in the last few weeks, the performance of Nigerian armed forces in progressing the operation in the northeast of Borno has been first class, and I think it's demonstrated a real regional leadership in that area. It's achieved effects on the ground, and it's offered a good model for the region of how we're going to continue to fight Boko Haram.
The base has support from US, UK, France and Nigeria. From N'Djamena, Chad, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
To other matters now, the development of the girl-child education and women empowerment received a boost with the visit of the old students of Government Girls College, Dala, Kano State, to the Director General of Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed. The Government College is one of the pioneer girls' secondary schools in northern Nigeria. Saywa Kali Ibrahim reports.
The caretaker committee, led by a member of the board of trustees of the Dala Old Girls Alumni Association, Hajia Yelwaladan Baba Ari, said the aim of the visit is to seek partnership with the largest TV network in Africa, the NTA, ahead of the association's annual general meeting and reunion dinner in Kanu. The group also reiterated their commitment to girl child education and women development in the country.
Whichever state you go in Nigeria today, you find an alumnus of Government Girls College, Dala in Kano. Our own is to have a rich and also enlightenment about girl child education, and also the need for all alumni associations to turn back and try to see that they give more to their alma mater.
The Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, represented by the Executive Director of Programs, Eugenia Abu, commended the association for their effort at giving back to their alma mater.
When it comes to matters that have to do with mentoring, girl child education, national development, and building of institutions, especially of the educational sort, NTA is very much in the forefront of making sure that the nation is aware of what other people are doing. I would like to inform you that the Nigerian Television Authority will gladly be part of your activities. We will provide whatever is required to ensure that you have a successful outing.
Established in 1961, the Government Girls College Dala in Kano State has produced successful and eminent women from different parts of the country. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
The federal government is targeting an annual production of 7 million tons of rice in the next 24 months. Audu Ogbe says this will be achieved with the support of Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. This is coming as the government is set to sign an MOU with India on the production of seasonings to the tune of over $100 billion. Musa Babali reports.
Nigerian farmers are currently producing an estimated 4 tons per hectare against the international average of 16 tons per hectare. This has left the country with deficit of over 3 million metric tons of rice. To close this gap, therefore, the federal government is adopting a new system of rice cultivation tagged Rice Post-Harvest Processing and Marketing, which of the pilot project is being implemented in some parts of the country. The project, which is a collaboration with Japanese government, will also provide small-scale milling centers in rural areas. Meanwhile, the Minister of State for Agriculture, Henekin Lokobiri, says Nigeria is set to sign an agreement on the supply of seasonings to India, and the Indian Prime Minister is expected to be in the country for the agreement. The minister was speaking as he received a report of Inter-Ministerial Committee on Export of Nigerian Produce.
We are looking forward to, concretizing that arrangement with the Indian High Commissioner so that the Indian Prime Minister can come, we can sign the MOU, and we can encourage as many people as possible, to grow these policies that will mature in 4 months.
The Inter-Ministerial Committee was constituted to address recurring ban on Nigerian produce at international commodity markets. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
We've got more news for you after this break on NTA International News. NTA International. This is where the news begins. Every breaking news and developments on the African continent.
Welcome to NTA International News. State House correspondent Hamza Musa.
In-depth news analysis and professional perspectives on all sides of the story.
Experts say the issue of
national energies and resources must be mobilized
every day on NTA International. We take you inside Africa and the world.
NTA International News. Africa as it is.
Olainka Joe is standing by with reports from the financial sector.
Welcome to Business News. The National Bureau of Statistics says the country's unemployment rate has risen from 12.1% in the first quarter of this year to 13.3% as at the end of the second quarter. The Bureau stated this in the employment report, which was released by the Statistician General of the Federation in Abuja. The Bureau said the number of people that were unemployed or underemployed increased from 24.4 million as at the end of the first quarter to 26.06 million persons. The Securities and Exchange Commission has raised alarm over the activities of some online fraudsters who are currently running an online investment scheme tagged MMM Federal Republic of Nigeria. The fraudsters, according to SEC, carry out their illegitimate business via nigeria.mmm.net.portal and are promising investors a monthly investment return of 30%. SEC said the venture had no tangible business model, describing it as a Ponzi scheme, where returns will be paid from people's invested funds. Before we go, a check on how the Nigerian equities markets fared on Friday. And that's it on the business segment of the news. I am Olayinka Ojo. The news continues.
A more rugged approach to tackling the growing menace of illicit drug use, trafficking and organized crimes in the West African sub-region has been advocated. The advocacy was at the opening of a 4-day seminar comprising of ECOWAS member states, Mauritania's Minister of Justice, technical partners, as well as regional organizations working in the areas of weather and climate service. Abdul Malik Adio has the report.
And trafficking accounts for many deaths in several West African countries. At this forum, these experts are expected to review and recommend for the approval of the 2016-2020 ECOWAS Regional Action Plan to address the problem.
The major effort has to be done by the member states to clear some services that are involved in drug trafficking.
This meeting is geared towards, scaling the tempo of activity across the nation, across the two sub-regions, and of course within these nations.
Chairman of the forum, Dr. Fatimata Diasao, while addressing the forum, said it is the responsibility of every member state to close its doors to these problems and encourage them to do so.
First of all, it can enable us to reinforce the capability of ECOWAS, because at the beginning we do not have enough human resources and enough financial resources, but now we have recruited people who are in charge and very specialized in drug.
It is hoped that at the end of this 4-day seminar, recommendations for the initiative to identify emerging challenges and the approval of the 2016-2020 ECOWAS Regional Action Plan to address illicit drug trafficking and related organized crimes and drug abuse in West Africa will be assented to, and this will be the beginning of a lasting solution to the menace in West Africa. In Abuja, Abdul Malik Adio.
And for some stories trending on the global scene, Chukwunonso Mwabweze